In your morning consumer news, more Chinese goods are flooding U.S. ports after Trump temporarily cut those tariffs on Beijing. Container ships are rushing now to the port of Los Angeles at levels we haven't seen since January. 18 vessels will arrive over the next 3 days. That's well above normal traffic. The surge comes as importers rush to get goods into the country before those tariffs potentially return. And your buy now, pay later habit could soon hurt your credit score. Americans are using BNPL for everything from groceries to cruises, even DoorDash to help stretch their budgets. But FICO is developing a new credit score model that factors in buy now, pay later. The new model launches this fall, meaning your Afterpay and Klarna purchases could impact your credit worthiness. Keep that in mind. And Target is holding prices at 2024 levels for key back to school items this fall. The retailer's popular list of 20 must-have school supplies for under $20 will return. Also coming back, the 20% off student and teacher discounts. The price freeze offers relief for families facing inflation on everything else. More millennials, meanwhile, falling into debt. That is according to one of the nation's leading nonprofit credit counseling agencies. But the data also shows they're more likely to do something other generations typically aren't. Josh Scheideritz has the story.
33-year-old Nick March turned to credit cards as a lifeline.
At the time, we weren't really making a lot of money to make ends meet, get groceries, that type of thing. We were going to school.
But what started as necessity, he says, quickly snowballed as he racked up $28,000 in debt.
Definitely a daunting number since we didn't really have experience with credit cards before. We just kind of let that get a little bit more out of control, doing a little bit of unnecessary spending. And then it got to a point where we couldn't really pay the interest on it.
Faced with rising rent, ballooning interest rates, and stuck with student loans, millennials, the generation born between 1981 and 1995, are now the ones most asking for help to dig out of credit card debt.
43%, the largest group of all new clients coming in, are millennials.
Serving clients nationwide, nonprofit credit counseling agency Money Management International said it's a significant trend away from what had been their typical clients in their 40s and 50s.
I will say the positive thing about millennials is they are willing to take action. They actually turn out to be the most receptive to financial counseling, making them most likely to overcome their financial challenges.
March says MMI worked with his creditors to negotiate lower interest rates into the single digits, setting him up on a plan to pay off his debt within 3 years.
Having that sort of like end date of when all of this will be paid off is kind of like okay, now we can look at getting a house. Now we can, be free of all of this, and it will feel like a huge weight is lifted off our shoulders.
And while millennials are more likely to carry debt than other generations were at that same age, a study last year found that age group is still in an overall better financial position than their counterparts were at that age, particularly when it comes to things like net worth, assets, income, and spending. And 90% of Wisconsinites say finding affordable childcare is a problem. Governor Tony Evers stopped in Eau Claire yesterday highlighting the Child Care Counts program. That is set to expire in a week without legislative approval. The program provides Eau Claire County with $24 million in funding. It has since 2020. Without it, a quarter of providers say they will likely have to close their doors.
They are the ones that are going to make sure our economy stays strong in the state of Wisconsin. So that's the bottom line. But they have good people working there. They've got kids that are there that are learning, and they're doing all the right things. It's just a matter of can they still continue to do it.
If the program ends, parents could pay up to $2,600 more per year for infant care.